All right. In this next section, we're going to look at how to convert these NC files into a list of move Ps and save that as a script file that can then be imported into Polyscope. And the reason that we want to do that is that um, from there we can add, to set any variable or turn on IO or really do pretty much anything that the script language can do. And we're going to show a way that we've developed to do this, and it's a LabVIEW program, but you are able to do that also within RoboDK if you have the license, or you're also able to do that with maybe Python if you're familiar with that. It's really just about managing a set of strings, and I'll show you how we do it, and you can get the idea there of how it works. So the idea, this is our toolpath NC to script converter. And basically it takes a file path. So we're going to convert these two paths that we've already looked at, which are, the one that is just simply following the sketch and then the one with the overlap. So now we come in here and we say, okay, we're gonna basically, our first one is gonna be this one, the underscore S1. So we say okay, and we're gonna say that we want a variable height. This is sort of going to be another way in which we can offset that height, and you'll see in a second. So when we hit convert, so essentially on the left are the G codes that are defined in that file, in that NC file, and on the right is our output. And essentially what we're doing is we're filtering for G codes that are G01, and then we are building this as a move P relative to a reference frame that we can call whatever we want here, ref plane in this case. And so we get the X, the Y, and then we get the Z, and we add a variable called TP height, like for toolpath height, and then that variable will allow us to sort of offset this path in the Z direction. We also have TPA, TPV, and TPB for the acceleration, velocity, and the rounding. So essentially, this is the script file that we would call up in Polyscope. And really what we got out of the G code are the waypoints, the X, Y, and Z coordinates. So we will do that for the S1 file, and we will do that also for the overlap. So we say okay, and now we can convert the overlap. And so we've converted it. So now we have, these two files. So now if we go back into Polyscope, right, we have here our dispense program, and all we're doing really here is that we're, this is in the case that we want to do two of these dispense paths. But right now, we're not going to worry about that. We're going to come into here, into the script, and I'm going to show you what we want to do is we want to do a file. And so I've actually done this ahead of time, and I went into FileZilla and I transferred those two programs over to our programs directory, so they're there. So now I can say file, I can say edit, and I will say open here, and we will load the LV gasket on plane S1 script. So we will say okay. And so here you can see that this is the full list of move P's, and it's using these variables. So we can say here exit, and now we've defined this, and we could edit this to do whatever we wanted. And so now when we run this, as I showed you, we have we're going to have a TP height, a TPA, TPV, and TPB, and those are defined here. So we're doing a certain acceleration, a certain velocity, a rounding error of 1 millimeter, and a height of 1 millimeter. And so when we do this, and I can hit play here. So the robot will come in and it will follow this path with a move P, and essentially redo what the toolpath your cap is doing. And so, so that is essentially our whole program. And if I load the one with the overlap, I can say edit here, and I can say open, and I can load the one with the overlap, which is this one. And once we exit out of this, so this will have an overlap, and I can hit play on this one. And you notice that the starting point was over here, close to the left, and then the next one will have a certain, like, about 20 millimeters of overlap, which will be critical as we develop our dispensing applications, because that's something that we may want to do. So that is, essentially showing how you can convert NC files to a sequence of move Ps, and how you can run that, and why you may want to do that, so that in here you can insert to set whatever IO you want, in these instructions, because I can edit here, and if I wanted to turn my IO right here, I could come over here, hit enter, and then edit whatever text I wanted. All right, thank you very much.